Well, we have to fix it within the contract.
Yeah, really. Is that a yes you can hear? You can
you
hear
hear?
me? Can you hear my
Marianne,
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes. Yep.
I don't care if you can hear me, but
I actually can hear you through him.
And I've actually had some more issues with some of the Really? The quality has really gone down. I think it's a basic design flaw. No, it's not wide enough for what it is.
So, Michael, yesterday I was looking at my video and I was very much in a chair seat. And I think when I am back here,
Everybody any good in the world rides in a chair seat.
oh, okay. Then all set.
You know that picture of like that perfect, tall, elegant, thin, perfect riding girl like Courtney King looked before she got hurt?
Yes.
There's like 2 riders in the world that look like that.
Okay.
Charlotte Dujardin does not look like that. She's got her hands high on her shoulder. Cornelison's like feet out here and shoulders back to the horse. She's been world ranked #1 for 5 years. She's got her feet down in the stirrups, feet forward and shoulder. I'm not saying we want to sit in a chair seat,
I'm
but
concerned that my leg is probably more effective back here.
No.
But no?
nope.
Okay.
Leg way back underneath you in the horse's flanks is way less effective than leg underneath your knee.
Okay.
I mean, where your leg falls, where your leg naturally falls, is the spot to have it. Don't artificially try to shove your leg back underneath your seat. People say that all the time about everybody any good in the world is much more likely not to have their leg here. They are more likely to have their leg there and their shoulder back 3 inches. They're now, there's a difference between break at your belt here and lean back and go like this, lean back and slump, or lean back with your chest up. Every good rider in the world leans back and pulls their chest up, and every good rider drives their heels straight down toward the ground like this. Ever seen Edward Gall's leg? When he makes the horse go, he looks like this. And then he puts his leg back there.
All right. I'll work on
You
that.
do not get yourself caught up thinking you're in chair seat. You are not in chair seat.
Yeah, see how wide and flat it is? This saddle is going to sit right in the middle.
Marianne, walk on a little bit.
Let me help you.
Don't throw your body weight into that. You put your leg on him, you close your leg, and if you need it, you put your spur on. If you need it, you touch him with a stick. Like you did this one time. You went like this. I said, make him walk on, and your first reaction was like, leg on him, like throw your body into him. Don't do it. Let yourself sit back. Sit back and sit still.
Very good. I have had a lot of they say something. I shouldn't say never, but the way they move,
Marianne, look, here's the other thing. Never, ever with me, ever bring up chair seat again. You sit fine. Let yourself sit and move with a... somebody told me... Here, come around. Somebody told me years ago. Stop. If you feel as a rider... This is one for you, Diane. Somebody told me years ago, and they're right. You'll see a rider that thinks, "Oh, my leg's all in the wrong place." What people get in their head is, you want to picture, your head on Courtney King's body when she rode in the Olympics, long and thin, and this perfect leg that's under her, and this picture of the. Nobody else in the world sits like that.
No.
Her unique body shape and style let her do that, right? Edward Gall doesn't sit like that. Cornelison doesn't. None of them do. So if you feel like your leg is like this when you ride, have the saddler get you a different saddle that puts where your leg falls is where the saddle puts you with the confirmation of your horse and your body. Okay? This piece of where your leg falls, if you hate it, you have your horse's confirmation, your body confirmation, and the saddle puts you in a certain place. Never try to do this. Never try to take your leg and force it back. Don't do it. If we need to fix that, then we have to work on the saddle. But if I look at you right now, and I look at that relationship of your ear, shoulder, hip, heel, that is exactly the seat that every Olympic medalist rides in, dear. That seat. None of them are like this. None of them are here like this with this, none of them. Cornelison's got her toes out and her feet forward on the stirrup, and she's like this. My experience is the more that your heels go back in the flank of the horse, the more they quit.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I have coached Elizabeth Austin for many years, okay? There was times with that Olivier horse where she won all the big Grand Prix, and that thing could pee off, let me tell you. And some fool along the way told her to get her heels back in his flanks to make him pee off better. You know what he did? Stopped and ran backwards.
Oh.
Why? Because he's a stallion. We learn that if you put your leg up by the girth and get after the horse is much more likely to come forward and under. If you put your legs back in his flank, he's going to back his hind legs out behind himself to avoid your leg. Your seat, your upper body, and your leg position is absolutely perfect for me. I wouldn't change it one bit. Your leg is in a perfect spot. All I care is when you ask him to go, all you do is this. You add pressure to your leg, squeezing him, or your spur on his side to make him step forward. Do not force your leg back.
I don't think my leg will ever hang straight unless I get a slap-sided.
Your leg doesn't have to hang straight.
And I finally accepted that.
Yeah, but it's your leg is a certain length.
Yep.
You have your confirmation, and it's put on you a certain way.
Yeah.
One of the top 2 or 3 riders in the country now, again after 20 years, is Shelly Francis. You ever stood next to Shelly Francis? Shelly Francis is short and round and has little stumpy legs, and this girl gets on a horse, and she doesn't have this elegant length. You know, Heather Blitz is 6'2" with these crazy long legs and stuff. Shelly beats her.
Yeah.
Little short, thick, lady with little bitty legs who has a way of riding a horse.
Yeah.
It has nothing to Isabel Worth. Isabel Worth has hips about that wide and these thighs on her, and she's a cowboy. She's not built like Anki or like any of them. Isabel Worth won more Grand Prix than all 5 of them put together.
Yeah.
It's her way.
Yeah.
It's her way.
Well, and I found too, like, I don't know if you noticed, I have a different saddle now, but my other saddle was putting me too far behind the motion.
Yeah, and you know what?
So when
where your whole relationship of upper body, leg, that fore and aft, shoulders, like that. If you don't like it, we have to change the saddle.
Yeah.
Because your horse is built a certain way, and you're built a certain way.
Yeah. The one I have now, I feel like I can stay with him
That
better.
that's the job of finding a proper saddle and the saddle fitter helping you get the saddle fitting the horse right and balancing the rider right. Marianne, where you're sitting right now could not be better.
I guess I'm wondering when I start the trot and sit.
Oh, this is much easier to
Try
get
to
in
sit
now,
deeply.
I would much rather that you lean a little too far back, and you have those big, lovely knee rolls on that saddle. You know what keeps your leg from going too far forward? The knee roll. I would much rather that you are down in the saddle and leaning back than you are trying to get in your head this thing about being elegant with your upper body. I'd rather you're back a little bit further back and you really ride forward. So when you're ready, Mary,